Good evening, everyone, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 2 of the European Esports Championship. My name is Michael Edwards, going to be taking you through the action as always here on a fine Tuesday evening, and alongside me in the commentary box, making his return to League Racing TV, and it's been a very long time, but Malk is back in the commentary box. How are you doing, Malk?
I'm doing very well, mate. I'm doing very well. How are you doing this evening?
I am looking forward to what should be a very enjoyable race. Of course, the track changes to the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia in recent years, removing that final chicane in the final sector has definitely improved this circuit tremendously. And of course, see, like turn 10 being made a bit wider as well, providing a bit more overtaking opportunity. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. But before we go ahead and talk about the circuit, I think we should talk about what went on last week. Of course, it was Team France's Tony Riche who did take the race victory in Silverstone last time out, with England's very own Dylan Warren coming in second place. And then, of course, we had Thomas Laminen for Finland there in P3. And what that has done to the standings coming into tonight, as you can see, it is Team Finland that lead the way. France in second, England in third, with Norway fourth, Sweden fifth, Netherlands sixth, Romania in seventh, Slovenia in eighth, Poland ninth, and of course Denmark in 10th. But unfortunately, Denmark has pulled out of the European Esports Championship, so Denmark will not be making any more appearances this season.
That's a real shame for them because it would have been quite interesting to see how they would have done against the best of the drivers that we've got for all the different countries as well. So it's just a shame, but we've got to keep going. As the show must go on, as the old famous words as we always say, Mike. But from your perspective, I think we're in for an absolute treat tonight for Spain for round two.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, looking at the circuit of Barcelona, Catalonia, 4.6 kilometers, 2.8 miles, 14 corners, two DRS zones, one down in towards turn number one, and one, of course, in towards turn number 10. Overtaken around you, it does come few and far between, as I'm just going to make sure that that is on a loop 2 seconds, because for some reason it wasn't on a loop. But yeah, overtaking opportunities, very few and far in between. Usually you want to get the job done in towards turn number one or down in towards turn number 10, but we have seen a lot of like overtakes happen into turn number 4 and of course into turn number 5. And honestly, I'm not really seeing like too many overtaking opportunities outside of those four main corners. Of course, 1, 4, 5, and 10. But do you think we could see any more potential overtakes happen in any of the other corners? Yeah, turn 7. Yeah, absolutely. We could be on for an absolute classic. But let's have a little look at the driver lineup here for tonight. So, for Team Romania in the Red Bull Racing cars is Bogdan Moldovan and of course TF10 2D. A very strong lineup from the Romanians here tonight. For Team Finland, we do have Kendon Lut and Tope in the AMG Petronas Mercedes F1 team car. For Team France, we have Nando Moria and, of course, Boris Zakozek, who will be serving a qualifying ban for Team France. So one of their drivers is going to be starting from the back of the field, but Team France coming in tonight with a good lineup as well. Team Netherlands, a Dutch team in the Scuderia Ferraris, of course, Jerry Van Bussel and Justin in there for the Dutch team. Of course, Jerry Van Bussel, a name that we know very well here in the European Esports Championship, made several appearances last season in Season 1. Team England coming in tonight in the Aston Martin F1 car. Of course, Dylan Warren and, of course, Furious going to be representing Team England here tonight. Team Slovenia, of course, we have Maj Kazinik and of course Smith in the Alpines there. Team Sweden represented by Leo Lund and of course CPI Jordan. They're going to be in the Williams F1 car. Team Poland with Banazek and of course David Lokos in the Alpha Tauris. That's going to be Team Poland. I do apologise beforehand if I have butchered any names. I am just a humble Welshman. That is all I can say with that. And of course, Team Norway there in the Alfa Romeos is Hazara and Nazir Kwasrani. I apologise if I've absolutely butchered your name there, mate. But yeah, I try my best with the pronunciations, but sometimes they do go astray from me. But a very strong lineup here tonight, Malk, and obviously my eyes are immediately drawn to obviously in terms of a team. I think Romania are looking pretty good. Obviously, Netherlands are looking strong. England as well. I mean, Dylan Warren looked very pacey last week and only just lost out on the race win in the end. So he's going to be coming in tonight looking to make it right, so to speak, with trying to reclaim that top step of the podium after taking home the first point of the season with the pole position point they did pick up in Silverstone.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've been told, it's with Dillon getting the first points for England before he lost out on the win itself. But I think he'll bounce back. I think he will bounce back, and just watch out for him as well. And as you said, there should be other teams like the Netherlands, Jerry Van Buzel, if that's how you pronounce it. Sorry, again. I'm the same with Mike with pronunciations wrong, so I do apologise. And Romania as well. So I really am looking forward to seeing how these guys can try and get a really good, like, excelled from Silverstone all the way through to the glorious of the Spanish Grand Prix, which I think we're about to start the short qualifying, I believe, Mike.
Yeah, and we will be getting into qualifying in just a moment's time. Before we do, though, let's have a quick look at the point system here in the European Esports Championship. Of course, is a point for pole position. There's also another point there for fastest lap. The top 15 all get points here in the European Esports Championship. First place getting 22, second place getting 18, third place getting 15 points, 12 points for fourth, 11 points for fifth, and it goes down in increments of 1 all the way down to 15th place. I guess one singular point. So if you are having a bad race, I highly recommend just sticking it out, because you never know. You could pick up a P15, pick up a point for your nation. That point could be all the difference come the end of the season. But yeah, as you mentioned, we are about to get into a qualifying right now, and I think without further ado, we should head out to the action on track.
Absolutely. We're just waiting for some of the drivers to come out. I think Bogdan's just coming out now within the Red Bull car, and he's the first one out. And there's quite a few drivers that are just coming out now, I believe, Mike. So, I'm based on what I'm looking at now, I think we might see a short time, shall we say. I reckon. Oh, I don't know. I think it's going to be really close with the timings itself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of a lap time around here, potentially we could be into the tens pretty quickly. I don't think we will make it into the nines. If we do, that would be a humongous lap from anyone here. I believe we're going to be looking at 1 minute 10 lap time though in qualifying, which will be very good from all these drivers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just watching Jordan now just come up to, I believe, turn 5. I believe to come to turn 6, now into turn 7. And one driver, I think that was Boris, has just had a bit of car communication issue. And I think he is out of the qualifying at the moment. Hopefully he'll get back in.
Yeah,
Jordan's
he's
just building up there. Sorry, Mike.
yeah. Boris is of course the driver for Team France. Is serving the qualifying ban here tonight, so that is why he's retired in the pit lane already. But yeah, we got Jordan about to take us on a lap. Do you want to go on a full flying lap with CPI, Jordan? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, if you don't mind. We're going to come to the long right. Oh, Jordan. He's teasing us. He's absolutely teasing us, Mike.
I can't believe it. That is disgraceful,
Just
teasing
typical.
us like that. But the next man going to be starting a lap is going to be Leo Lund. So, I mean, we'll go from one Swedish driver to the other, and hopefully this time you can get the lap going.
Here we go. Leo Lund now coming up to the last corner now, going down the straight. That's the start finishing line. And here we go, going all that power, all that energy that you need in that car. Come up to the heavy braking zone, that turn 1, now into coming to, which is the awkward turn 2, which could easily go off track, and then the long right-hander on turn 3, and then come to the end of the first sector, which will be a 21.432. That's the start of it on the softs itself. Now come up to, which I believe, turn 5. Down the short corner, which is turn 6, and then this is the part where I was saying could happen with the overtake. Might do at turn 7, depending on if they don't hit the gravel, into turn 8, and then come up to turn 9 and then 10. Down the DRS straight, and this is where you need all that energy that needs to push on massively. 49.8 on sector 2. Now come up to, as you said, the wider of turn 10 into 11. Now the third sector, which is, I don't know why I missed the chicane because everyone struggled with that, but now down a long straight, and here we go, Leo with a time of a 1 minute 10.586.
Yep, Leo Land putting a lap time on the board immediately. Hazara, they were at 10.7, and Jerry Van Bussel, they also were at 10.7, 10.8 for Tian Smith. I believe potentially a late change in the team for Team Slovenia, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, we did get teased momentarily by Jordan, but Leo Lund coming through, paying dividends for us as we're on board right now with Dylan Warren about to get his lap underway. Of course, Team England's shining star here tonight after his performance last time out in Silverstone was unable to take away the home Grand Prix victory, but he did get pole position and he did pick up second place for Team England, which does put them in a good position this season as compared to last season, where really Team England really did underperform last season.
Yeah, and they need to bounce back as quick as possible, and that's what you need with Dylan. Don't write him off. Do not write him off just yet. He's just doing his lap now in the second sector, coming to turn 7. Now, this is where I know everyone will be watching, think he's going to be under a lot of pressure moments, but like I said, he'll be fine. He'll be coming up to the end of the second sector now at 49.9, so he's 8 seconds quicker on his current lap time, but look at the times, Mike. Look at the times from everyone else. From first all the way down to 11th, he's 4/10. That is insane. Coming to the third sector now. Can Dylan for England? Can he try and beat Paul? Yo!
He ate for Dylan Warren. But yeah, as you was saying, it is incredibly close here in qualifying, and that's what we like to see. We like to see it incredibly close in qualifying because it makes for an exciting race with everyone bunched up on lap times, and it's going to be interesting to see what everyone's going to be able to do. Of course, it is going to be Tudi, who is currently on provisional pole with a 10.471 for Team Romania. And I did mention about Team Romania's driver lineup. Of course, obviously Tudi out there in provisional pole. Bogdan and Moldovan currently in 7th place. So they are doing incredible. Of course, you got Team Finland as well, who are leading the way in the championship. They're currently 2nd and 6th, with Tope in 2nd and Kendon Lut in 6th place, as we got our second runners out on track right now of Leo Lund and Kendon Lutt. And honestly, if you are Justin right now, because of course you haven't been able to get a lap time on the board as of yet, it's going to be a little bit of pressure on this lap for Justin to get a lap time on the box. You ideally want to get one nice and early, just so you have something there.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You need to try and get an early start, get your times in, and try and get as many qualifying laps as possible. Looking at Kaden and also for Leo, they want to try and improve their times at the moment. I mean, Leo 1/10. You just try and think, where do they need to beat to this time in pole position? That's the biggest question of it all. But obviously, with the strategies coming up, anything could play for, to be fair in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And Leo Lund will be the first man to set his second flying lap. But I'm going to go on board with Kendon Lutt, as we have already been on board with Leo Lund for a flying lap. And this time I think I'll take us on a lap here as we come through the final corner, 7th gear, using all the track possible on the exit. And DRS wide open as we come down the start finish straight, heading down in towards turn number 1. 320 kilometers plus, heading into the break-in for turn number 1, throwing the car through 5th gear, going through turn 2 now, looking to get a good run now through turn 3, keeping it nice and tight to the apex, and of course minimizing the distance all the way to turn number 4. And he is 6, almost 700 of a second up, coming through turn 4 now, using all the track possible in towards turn number 5, 3rd gear, the gear of choice there for Kendon Lutt, as he gets good traction on the exit there through turn 6 now, as we go in towards turn number 7, climbing up the hill through turn 8, and now the flat out right hander of turn number 9, 6th gear there for Kendon Lutt, DRS wide open once again as we head down in towards turn number 10, where ideally we're going to be seeing a fair bit of side-by-side action through there, coming through 11 now in towards turn number 12. The never-ending right-hander, and there is an invalidation there for Kendon Lutt as he comes through turn 13, immediately backs off into the pit lane. Leo Lund improves on the provisional pole. It is the Swedish man up there right now on provisional pole, getting himself ahead of Tudi, who's about to get his next lap underway. Will Tudi respond here? But Leo Lund, 10.4, puts himself up on provisional pole.
It's an unbelievable time from Leo. Absolutely fantastic. And Tudor's just doing his lap now, but I'm just watching that side while you was watching Leo's time, because the teamwork of the Alfa Romeos, they're pushing on massively. Azara working with Nasir as well. Coming to the last corners now on 63 down the straight. What time can they try and do? Oh, moves up to 7th with a 1. By 2/10, sorry, I do apologise. By 2/10, but we're going to Tudi now. What can he try to... Oh, he's 1.5 seconds off his first sector time, so he must have had a bad first sector though, Mike.
Yeah, I think he backed off on board right now with Nando Moria as he dives into the pits. He was up on his middle sector split, so I'm not sure why he bailed out of it unless he had a horrible turn 10. On board right now with Jay Van Bussel, I believe, might be also on an in lap. Yes, he is. Trying to look for someone who is on a flying lap. Bogdan Moldovan, 3 attempts up on his time, coming through the middle sector. And this will put him onto provisional pole. Coming through the final corner now. If he's able to maintain it, he will be on provisional pole. And he will get there. It's a 10.3 for Bogdan Moldovan.
What a lap! What a lap! Oh, definitely. Oh, whoa! Yes! Come on! Oh,
Dylan Warren for Team England, 10.2, puts himself on the provisional pole. Will it be back-to-back pole positions here for Dylan Warren and for Team England? And honestly, right now we're seeing times ramp up. They're getting quicker and quicker. Will we see anyone dip into the 109? So that's going to be the big question here. As obviously Furious in P7, as he is also going to be looking to try and improve on his lap time as well. As in the chat, obviously a lot of support for your return, Malk, and Honestly, it's very much appreciated. Make sure everyone does welcome back Malk into the commentary box here on League Racing TV, an absolute legend from days gone by, and he's back once again on board right now with Furious into the middle sector split, and he is marginally down in the middle sector, but it's close enough that he could find some time in the final sector, that he's able to get himself up the order a little bit. He's only 400ths of a second down, coming through turn 13 now, in towards the final corner, turn 14. Has he managed to gain anything in the final sector? Here comes Furious, so Team England, and he goes up into P5.
That's a good lap. Definitely fast and definitely furious for the top 5. That's the main thing of it all. That's a good lap. Top 5 for England at the moment. Top. What can he try and do in that Mercedes car? He's just come up to the second sector now. Come up to the up the hill section. I think it was sector 9. Come up to sector 10. Oh, he's 700s quicker. He is 700s quicker. So at the moment, he could be on P4. The way it looks, he may be on P4. I don't know why he had in the first sector, but he may be an opportunity of a lifetime. Oh, come on! Come on, top. Will he be top, though? That's a big question. Will he hit the one on ice? Oh! Top 3. He's definitely got it, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. He goes up in the P3, and there's his teammate there displacing him and dropping him down to P4. Kendon Lutte up into a third place with top in P4. And what we're seeing right now, Team Finland versus Team Romania versus Team England right now. And obviously we've got a sprinkle of some Swedish delight right there in P5 with Leo Lund.
Absolutely. You just can't write the script at all. You cannot write the script. I'm just watching Nando in the McLaren trying to push on. He was 200 slower. He was 200 slower on his first sector time. Come to turn 7 now. This is the pressure of it all, Mike. This is absolute pressure. I bet these guys are absolutely pouring with sweat down this straight now. And oh my days, 200s quicker. And we got purple. We are purple on second sector. Oh, can Nando do it? I feel like a Nando. I feel like one of those chicken sandwiches now. Oh no! Don't you dare, Nando! Oh, he's just hurt me. He's going back into the pit.
Yeah, I think on the exit of turn number 10 there, that little wobble at the rear end cost him all the time that he had, and obviously deciding to come back into the pits. Just 4 minutes remaining here in qualifying.
Oh.
And we're going to see who's going to be setting any quicker lap times. I believe you might have just spotted something though, Malk.
Sorry about that, Mike. Leo just moved himself to third. He was a little bit quicker on his time. He was a little bit quicker on his time. So he just got himself to third, Mike.
Well, I'm currently on board with the man currently in P9 of Jerry Van Bussel, but there is a fast approaching Haas in the background, going to be looking to try and get through. In fact, no, sorry, that is not a Haas. I believe that is not a Haas. That is a Alpha Charlie right there, and I appear to be blind somewhat, but on board with Jerry Van Bussel here, obviously down in P9 right now. We know what he can do from season 1. Let's see if he's going to be able to get himself up the order this time around. Very consistent driver in the races. David Rockos retires from the session, currently down in P11. That's going to be the best he can do for this qualifying session, down towards turn number 1 now, with Jerry Van Bussel coming through turns 1 and 2. Going to be looking for a good exit now through turn 3, keeping it nice and tight. And it's going to be interesting to see what his first sector split is going to be. Marginally down in the first sector, not ideal for Jerry Van Bussel, but a lot of lap that he can improve on if, of course, he is able to find the time. But I think he might have already backed out there. Wasn't too happy with his run through turn number 5 there.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So hopefully he'll try and... I don't know whether he'll have enough time to do one more lap. I'm just watching Judy now come up to the end of the first sector. He's in the second one now. He had a bit of help with the Red Bull with Bogdan down the straight to get... That's what happened with the Alfa Romeo earlier on. Turning down, come up to turn 7, 8, and now that long right-hander onto turn 9. Really using that DRS, and one of the cars one of the cars that was just stopped on the left-hand side. Nine, a tenth quicker at turn 10 to the, oh, bit of a wiggle moment, Mike. Bit of a wiggle moment from Tony. Tony coming to the couple of last corners now in third sector. Can he make it past Dylan Warren in top position? Could we hit the one of eyes? Oh, did you see that, Mike?
Yeah, I saw that a big weave as he was about to cross the line. I guess wasn't particularly happy with his lap at that moment of time. Of course, he did have that big snap coming out of turn number 10, and that is a key traction zone, which we're going to have to keep an eye on in the race as well. Very easy to just lose the back end there, as we got around about a minute remaining in the qualifying session. Dylan Warren backing up, getting ready to go for his final run. Bogdan Moldovan retiring from the session. He's currently in P2. Leo Lund on an outlap, Kendon Lutt on an outlap, Toop on an outlap, and of course to the, we're going to see what he can do. Furious, it's an England 1-2 right now. As a proud Welshman, I am very thrilled with England being 1-2 right now. As a proud Welshman, I am overjoyed with this. So we wait to see if anyone's going to be able to put in a challenge to Team England's hopes right here of a front row lockout. We'll have to wait and see, and who is going to be closest to the end of their lap. Jay Van Bussell 3 seconds down on his time. Justin, I think, also going to be down on his time as well. In fact, they're just about going to be getting his lap underway, as we got about 10 seconds remaining in the qualifying session before the checker flag comes out here. And now it looks like Jay Van Bussell is going to give the toe to Justin down at the start finish straight, and the checker flag is out. So we'll have a McLaren of Nando now to the line. He improves up in the P5, as we got a Alfa Romeo of Zara into the pits, and both of the Team England drivers going to be coming through the final sector right now. I think Furious is going to be down on his lap time as Dylan Warren's into the pits. I believe Furious will follow suit. Let's see if the likes of Tope can get himself up there. I think he's definitely down. He's definitely down on his time, I think, as he's going to come to the line right now. And actually, he wasn't down. He was actually up on his time. I know absolutely nothing, guys. Absolutely nothing. I know diddly squat. As we have Maj Krasinik coming into the pit lane now, as Justin coming through the final couple of corners himself. Remember, he did have a bit of a toe from Jay Van Bussell down the start finish straight. He's down in P15. Is he going to get into the top 10 and knock his teammate out of it? To the line, and he goes P12. But that's going to bring an end to the qualifying session here. It is England taking home another pole position and in a 1-2 front row lockout here in Spain.
Get in. Brilliant work from the England team. Brilliant stuff. 1-2 with Dylan and Furious. Definitely fast and furious from them two. Fantastic stuff. Bogdan just missed out on the top two by 500ths, or about 200ths if you wanted to get into P2. But still, brilliant work from England. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But hopefully, we'll see, can they keep that top two intact for the race? That's the big question of it, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely, and only time will tell. But let's run you through the qualifying order once again. It is, of course, Dylan Warren taking a pole position with Furious on the front row with him. It's an England front row with just under 400ths of a second separating the two Englishmen. Bogdan Moldovan in P3 with Tope in P4, less than a tenth separating the top four, with Leo Lund in P5, Nando Moria in P6, Kendon Lutt in P7 with Tudi in P8, Hazara in P9 with Jay Van Bussell rounding out the top 10. Outside the top 10 we have Nazir, and then of course we have Justin, David Lokos, Tylen Smid, Maj Krasinik, Jordan in 16th, and of course Boris Zakozek going to be starting from the back of the grid for Team France. And of course the French coming in as defending champions here in the European Esports Championship. Malk, a lot of pressure on them to hold on to their championship, but a lot of strong competition this year, really going to put a lot of pressure on the French team.
Absolutely, and you can see it with how close the pack is. I mean, wasn't it like from first to 12th or first to 13? It was like 5/10. I mean, it's just insane, like how these guys really pushing it to the barriers and putting a lot of pressure, as you said, on the champions of France. So it'll be interesting to see how they can try and push on massively, but who knows? Who knows at this stage? But we'll find out sooner rather than later, as such.
As the 5 red lights are about to go out here, and I believe there's a few jump starts here,
Oh,
and I think we're going to get a lobby restart, if I'm not mistaken. That is why it has gone the way it is. I actually didn't think we was going to get a lobby restart, but yeah, it looks like a lobby restart is in order. And of course, that probably shouldn't be shown on the stream, but yeah, definitely, definitely going to be an interesting race. That is for certain. As England starting on the front row, and I see a huge opportunity for him. Of course, Dylan Warren missed out last time in Silverstone, and of course it is going to be a front row lockout now for England, and a huge opportunity for them to really put themselves a little bit clear, I should say, in the early stages of the European Esports Championship here, Malk.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It'd be in, like I said. I mean, I think, you know, that when you're at the EGC, you just don't know what's going to happen next, or what's going to happen with the race, or what's going to happen with the whole league itself. I can't wait for it. I'm glad I'm back in the comms box and to join you, Mike, in what we're going to see is going to be a thrill to the end, shall we say. It's I'm just on the edge of my seat because I just want to see what's going to happen next, to be
Yeah,
honest.
absolutely, and of course, we are all going to be ready and waiting to see what happens. But of course, while we do get the lobby reset, we will take a small intermission, and we will be back with the fresh lobby in just a few moments, guys. So bear with us. We'll be back in a few moments. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have managed to turn around very quickly with the lobby restart, and of course, it is going to be an England 1-2. Dylan Warren ahead of Furious, and then of course we got Bogdan Moldovan in P3, Tobe in P4, Leo Lund P5, and Nando Moria P6, Kendall Luck P7, 2D in P8, Zara in P9, and of course Jerry Van Bussel rounding out the top 10. And Malk, as we head into what should be a very exciting race here at Spain, the times from everyone that set a lap time, it was 1.1 seconds separating the entire grid, and it was only just over half a second separating the top 14 drivers. We are definitely going to be in for an absolute treat here, and I am all excited and ready for it. One thing I will say though to everyone in the lobby right now, if you are listening to the stream, please remember your race setups. Do not forget your race setups right now, because a default setup around Spain can be very horrible to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine get everything all ready? You've been practicing all day or practicing all week just to get this right, all because of one little mistake. I think these guys got to be careful with this. They've got to be very, very careful. But these guys are professionals. These guys are at the top of their peak. Unbelievable qualifying. And I tell you what, if it's like this during the qualifying, I reckon we might see my terminology. You probably hear two in the beds or three in the beds, like two wide or three wide. That's how I pronounce it, anyway. But you'll see two in the bed or three in the bed moment, and I cannot wait for that moment. To be fair, in the
Yeah,
race.
absolutely. Of course, judging from the action that we saw in Silverstone last week, there's definitely going to be a bit of elbows out as well. Everyone pushing everyone to the limit of what is possible in terms of fair, clean, hard racing. And I have just transferred over to the track right now, just so we can make sure that we are here ready for the 5 red lights. And here we go now to those 5 red lights. So perfect timing there for me. So 5 red lights are out, and we are underway here in Spain. Dylan leads the way, Furious in second place, and an interesting split in the tyre compounds. Nando Moria on a set of the soft compound tyre, most of the grid though on a set of the hards, as it's 3 wide in turn 1. Incredible stuff as Nando, Tope and Leo Lunde 3 wide through turn number 1, and it looks like Nando looking to make moves early on those soft tyres.
Unbelievable stuff. Why are you watching that, Jerry? Jerry and Judy start beside two in the bed moment, and Jerry's going for it. He's going to go around the outside. Come on! Brilliant stuff. This is absolutely brilliant racing. Oh, a bit of a wiggle moment just ahead of them. But this is unbelievable stuff at turn 7. Oh, a bit of contact. I think there was a bit of contact from 2D point of view, but I think one of the cars just cut into 2D. Mike.
Yeah, I think 2D had a little bit of a snap of oversteer on the exit of turn 7 there, which obviously keeping a very tight line as he was side by side with Justin there through turns 7. But yeah, a very hectic start. A lot of 2x2 moments on the first lap. Nando Moria though on those soft tyres on the back of Furious, going to be looking to make the move, and he might get a double overtake here as he runs down into towards turn number 1. He'll at the outside line for turn number 1, and he's already going to be ahead into the break-in, and it is Nando Moria into the race lead, and an incredible start from him, and Team France are on it here.
Absolutely, but remember, he is on the soft though, so give him about 10 more laps, and then the hards will kick in already. So he's going to have to do a very, very good start though, Nando. He's going to have to do it very well. But look at this, everyone's all within like 3 or 4 tenths. It is quite insane. Proper racing that we're seeing live exclusive for you guys. I cannot believe it, Mike. Sorry, I'm just excited. Cannot believe it.
Well, I mean, the excitement will only build throughout the race as we're on board with Boris having a look at Azara down the inside in towards turn number 10. The soft versus the hard compound tyres. The soft tyres definitely have more grip right now, but a big snap of oversteer there for Boris, and he's trying to look for a switchback. Cut off there by Hazara. No way through there for the Frenchman of Boris, but he is going to have to push on. Meanwhile, his teammate is out in the lead. around about half a second ahead of Dylan Warren, and not ideal for Nando. He needs to get Dylan out of DRS range, because if he doesn't, that Aston Martin containing the English maestro, shall we say, of Dylan Warren is going to be sticking with him all the way until those soft tyres fall off the cliff.
Absolutely, absolutely. He's been a flying Englishman as well, trying to push on the Frenchman of Nando in first place, and just watching Toph getting close to Bogdan in fourth. And this is quite interesting stuff, because there's quite a few battles at the back, and I think Nazar has dropped down. I think he's had a bit of contact, and then we've got yellow flags on sector 2, Mike. We had yellow flags on sector 2 for a brief moment, but Nazir, unfortunately for him, he's dropped himself down to 17, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're starting to see a split occur now in the grid. 1.2 seconds the gap between Boris and Justin, and Boris needs to use those soft tyres to get back within that 1 second window, because he'll lose out massively down the start finish straight if he's not within a second, and he might just about get back in it, and I think he's just going to be outside the window for DRS, so he's going to lose out, and let's see how much he does lose down the start finish straight. He is a second behind right now. How many attempts does he lose as Dylan Warren closes up? Hazara gets through on Boris, and that's another issue that he will contend with not having DRS, is the fact that he'll just lose out to the guys behind on the slower compound tyre at this moment in the race.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is what they need to do. They need to have a good start, Boris, definitely. But Nando had a good start, but he's just holding on for dear life in first place. We're on lap 4 already, lap 4:33 of the Spanish Grand Prix. And I tell you what, you cannot write the script. Can Dylan try and put the pressure on Nando? I reckon when we get to the second DRS, here we go. Can he try and close the gap? And he's tried his best. They can't get any closer. This is where the DRS train is going to be absolutely crucial. And they're coming up to the third sector. And you can see Furious. Well, he's not furious at the minute, not angry. He's just calm, cool and collective, to be fair, in third place, and just waiting for that moment. But here we go. They're going down the straight for the start finish line straight. And can Dylan try and put the pressure on with the DRS? Or will Nando hold on? Come on. Come on! We want some unbelievable moves! On, Dylan! We need more moves! Sorry, Mike.
Dylan electing to stay behind there, but let's have a quick look at the position gains on the first few laps. Of course, Nando Moria up 5 places. Of course, Dylan Furious, Bogdan Moldova and Tope and Leo Lund dropping down a spot. Kendon Lutt has managed to maintain position. Meanwhile, Jerry Van Bussel up 2 spots, Justin up 3 in 8th and 9th respectively. Hazara down 1 spot. Boris up 6 spots on the back of the grid, up into P11. And of course, everyone now back within the DRS train of each other. In fact, Hazara teetering on the edge of that 1 second window. Tudi down 4 places, and obviously Nazir down 6 places. He's the big loser of the start, and of course he's 2 seconds off the back of everyone else. But a good start for both of the French drivers, and Nazir, I mean, not ideal for him, but back onto the tyre graphic right now. 5 laps into this race, about to begin lap number 6. This, I think, is at the moment where those soft tyres will begin to fade somewhat, and this is where Dylan's going to charge now. Dylan goes through with DRS and ERS, and Furious is going to follow him through. England back into a 1-2 position once again.
Get in! Come on! Come on! This is unbelievable stuff. Furious holding on for second. Nando, try and put the pressure on. Now, and you might be right here, Mike. This is where the turning point will be for the softs. Do you think that's the bad call for the French? That's the big question of it all. I will have to mention that to Mike in a minute. But I do think it is a bit of a... I'm surprised they didn't go for the hards. But Mage, who's in 15, he was the only one that gambled on the medium tyre, to be honest. But overall, this has been an extraordinary race so far. Nando trying to put the pressure on, but can't get any closer, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the tyre strategies, I think Nando, his whole strategy hinged on breaking DRS to Dylan, and he was unable to do so. And it was just a matter of time before Dylan Warren and Furious got through on him. Now, however, is where Nando needs to kind of manage this race and try and stay with the DRS train. But look at this, Bogdan Moldovan gets a better run out of the final corner, and he's just going to breeze through. Even though both of them are DRS, Bogdan Moldova now back up into P3, and we're starting to see Boris fall down the order as well. Ideally, I think both of the French drivers opt in for a strategy which, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to pay out for them early game, but obviously they will get the undercut of pitting first out of all the runners, and they do keep their options open if there is an early safety car here, which of course could be beneficial to them. But I think the smart call, if you were going to go on a softer compound instead of the hards, I think the smarter call would have been the medium compound tyres. That is for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. And while he was watching that, Tooney round the outside of Boris, he did a brilliant job to move some to 11th while you were mentioning about the tyre strategy. Marwan's call. Just watching Tope now try to get close to Nando in 4th. Nando will be like a domino effect going down the pecking order. Hopefully not, but this is the gamble that you take in F1, which tyre wear you start off with. But here we go. This is where the pressure now for Tope. Can he try and make the move onto Nando? Nando's just trying his best, but look at Leo. Look at Leo. He's trying to make the move. Oh, I thought he was going to try and do a little bit of an unbelievable move. Oh,
Tope goes deep. And there's Leo around the outside for turn 2, the other inside for turn 3. Brilliant stuff from Leo Lund. Up into P5 goes the Swedish driver. As in the background we're seeing, I believe that's Tylen Smith, who has had a bit of a moment. He's fallen down to P17. Boris also falling down the order as well. Not ideal for the French driver in Boris, but I mean, Leo Lund, incredible move for him. And Tope gets very wayward on the exit, and look at his teammate literally pushing him through turn number 9. I wonder if there's going to be a call to swap drivers, and there is a call to swap drivers. There goes Kendon Lutt now, and oh my God, Jerry Van Bussel almost into the back of Tope there, and that almost ended in absolute catastrophe for the Dutch driver of Jerry Van Bussel, and of course Justin in behind. And now we're going to see if Jerry Van Bussel can put the pressure on and get through on Topia.
Yeah, that'll be the big question of it all. Everyone's on the DRS. Now Jerry can try and make the move. No, he won't actually. He's still trying to catch up to Tope. Tope's trying his best to close in on Kendon, but it looks like Tooney's made the move on to 10th. Hazara dropped down to 11th, and they're coming up to turn 3 now. Just watching it from Jerry's point of view. He's got a little bit wide at turn 3, or just a little bit too far, but hopefully still within contact distance from Tope, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry Van Bussel driving his race right now, sticking to the racing line, making sure he's not taking as much out of the tyres by altering his line, making it a little bit tighter and putting more strain on those tyres. But right now, Dylan's gone off into the wall. Dylan Warren's down the order. What's going on with Dylan Warren here? Dylan, has he had a moment? No. Has his wheel disconnected? Dylan Warren's retired from the race. Team England down a driver. And this is, of course, what we did see a few times last season, where it all fell apart from Team England. But Dylan Warren, what has gone on there? It's got to be a wheel disconnect, surely.
It's good. He was comfortable. He was comfortable in the top 2. Something must have happened from his perspective, and unfortunately for him and for England, it's going back to what it was at Silverstone, where he did not finish off in the top 2. Again, I think that's pure frustrations from Dylan's point of view. But Furious will hold on, hopefully, to bring those points back for England. But at the moment, Furious is holding on for dear life, because Bogdan, Leo, Nando, Kendon, they're all within of each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the chat as well, I mean, we're saying, there's a few talks about what's called, GG and chatting, and obviously, let's go. But obviously, we can confirm as well that Dylan Warren's wheel completely disconnected, which heartbreak for Dylan and of course for Team England. And yeah, I mean, the wheel disconnected from the software all at the same time for Dylan Warren. So heartbreak there for the Englishman. definitely was looking incredibly strong in this race. And now Bogdan Moldovan not looking for the overtake. He definitely could have had a peek down the inside, but he's not willing to risk it. Lap 11 of 33. We are a third of the way into this race right now. Furious of Team England, the lone Englishman, the lone lion, out there on track right now, and he is under pressure from the Romanian assassin of Bogdan Moldovan in behind.
It's just insane, absolutely insane. Can Furious hold on? Can Bogdan make the move? Or will Leo Nando? Nando on 10 laps already on those softs, so it's already on the limiter itself with those soft tyres, but they're trying everything they can. And brilliant racing. Overall, brilliant racing on the Spanish Grand Prix. And looks like Leo has a quick look of the see if he can make the move onto Bogdan, but not enough. He's just getting close to Nando for fourth. And I tell you what, you just can't move away for a second. Otherwise, you're just going to lose all the battles that you're going to see. And now they're going down the straight to the Star Visual straight for lap 12. DRS all active except for Furious. Furious is trying to hold on. Bogdan is going to go on the right hand side, trying to make the move. And he tries to do it, but he won't do it yet. I was just looking at the back of the grid. It looks like they were all going to try and do it, but nothing of it there, Mike.
Yeah, as March does get through on CPI Jordan there for P12. Remember, the top 15 do get points in this race. So right now, the only driver not within the points is, of course, Tylen Smith down there in 16th place. Unfortunately, one retiree so far, and that is, of course, England's Dylan Warren. Wheel disconnected, and yeah, absolutely heartbreak for Dylan. Meanwhile, we have a nice battle right now between the likes of TF10 2D, Justin, Jerry Van Bussel, who is looking at the back of Tub. May risk it down the inside in towards turn number 10. He's gone for it. Jerry Van Bussel, small little bit of contact on the exit, but Jerry Van Bussel up in the P6 now. Oh, contact as Justin hits the back of Tub. And that potentially could be a little bit of a bump pass. And 2D now could be sizing Justin up for an overtake down the start finish straight here.
Here we go. Can Tope hold on? But that was a little bit of contact from Justin's point of view. But Tope pulling away down the straight, and they're trying to hold on as much as possible. But fair play to Jerry. That was a great move. Oh, Boris and Maris is dropped down from 13 and 15 respectively, Mike.
Yep, Boris into the pits, and he's going to switch off those soft tyres now. He's putting a set of mediums. Now, this was something I was going to ask you as well. Obviously, Nando right now is still in this DRS train. He's getting towed along quite nice. He's not really losing out massively, and obviously that is partly down to the fact that Bogdan Moldovan is not forcing a move on Furious. He's more than content sitting in behind right now. And let's go with Nando being there on the soft tyres. I think potentially we might see a soft medium strategy from the Frenchman here, similar to his teammate down in 15th place.
I do think so, but the way he's going through the course just now, I think that it's just the limiter. Now, I think if he won't go in just yet, I reckon he might be right, Mike. I think he might do the soft medium, which I think probably about a few more laps for the softs and then go for the mediums to last to the end of the race. But it all depends on make sure there's no safety cars as we speak. But Bogdan tried to make the move onto Furious, but nothing of it. Furious for England, he's holding on for dear life. And I tell you what, you just can't write the script. Jerry, come on!
Oh, Jerry Van Bussel sending a bit of a lunge on Kendon, who was looking at the inside of Nando. That could have been absolute heartbreak for multiple drivers there if they all committed to their overtaking opportunities. But right now, Nando doing a good job holding on to P4. Kendon holding on to P5. Jerry Van Bussel now trying to size up moves there from P6. So under pressure from Justin. Obviously you got 2D having a little look and having a little bit of a weave around, trying to put Justin a little bit offline there. And 2D's actually going to sit in behind the Romanian, sitting in and just biding his time at this moment in the race.
insane stuff. Absolutely insane. Just watching Justin Swords just going to the pits. I think that's
Nando.
Nando now. Nando's now going to the pits. Here we go. You've got Mercedes, you've got Ferrari, Sandwich, Moments. You don't know which one to pick for. Locos is also into the pits as well. Yeah, and also moving to the pits. So here we go. They're trying to put the pressure on now. Nothing of it. No one making the move just yet. But you just can't write the script. Just going back to the top three of Leo. Leo was getting under 2 tenths to close the gap onto the top two. But they are pulling away slightly from fourth place. But quite intense moments. And some, as you said, some of the drivers who were going for the softs, especially for Boris and Fernando, they are going for the medium strategy as well. So be quite interesting if they can hold on, which they should do really, but it depends on the safety car.
Well, I mean, this is going to be very interesting. Of course, they will get an undercut, and they will get a few laps of this undercut, Nando, and I mean, I think Boris a little bit too far back, and obviously in the chat right there, Nordic Ninja saying mediums 18 laps in Spain better than hards. So obviously Nordic Ninja there putting his prediction on the tyre life, and we'll have to see how it all plays out. I mean, personally, like in terms of the tyre wear and everything, like I'm not the right person to ask. I absolutely burn through my tyres like no tomorrow, mostly because I spin around so much. But we're on board with Leo Lund right now, getting close to the back of Bogdan Moldovan. And Bogdan, I think, soon has to start thinking about getting this overtake done on Furious, because right now, I mean, every lap that he does back out, he's given Leo Lund that potential opportunity of getting this overtake done for P2, and he does not want to be caught up in a battle for second place, losing time to Furious up ahead. See, he's going to have to try and get this move done on Furious ASAP, does the Romanian.
Oh, absolutely, mate, absolutely. But as you rightly said, every time he's trying to make an overtake, he's backed out, and then Leo and everyone else is just closing in like no man's business. And I tell you what, you can't afford to do that, because look now, Furious was 2 tenths between himself and Bogdan. Now Bogdan was about 4 tenths. Now the DRS is going to kick off now. Can Judy and Hazara is going to the pits. Now Bogdan should make the move. He's not making the move.
Bogdan backing out again as Tudi Hazara into the pit lane. Fresh set of mediums on for Tudi, fresh set of mediums on for Hazara, and now what we are going to see is obviously Nando getting the benefit of the undercut there, working out to perfection. David Locco's going up the order as well, and I mean, Boris is still going to be quite some way off the back of them, but Nando right now 7 seconds of clear air to push into. He's going to be flying on his medium compound tyres, that is for sure. But see, the fresh mediums or fresh softs at the end of the race for these guys battling for the race win right now. I mean, it's going to play a factor when these guys come into the pits. Do they chuck on a set of mediums right now? Do they potentially stretch out to the softs towards the end? That is going to be the big question. Obviously, we are getting a slight bit of cloud coverage in the distance, so it is a little bit cloudy, but doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any rain here tonight. And Leo Lund and Tope into the pit lane. Here comes Bogdan Moldovan, and now he is going to go for the move. And Team England is now no longer leading this race. Furious down into P2, and that means now Bogdan Moldovan for Team Romania up into the race lead. Nando with a new fastest lap, just showing his pace on those mediums, and you can see the gap as Nando has come out quite considerably ahead of Leo Lund. Remember, Leo Lund was directly behind these two in this race, so I mean, we're seeing a gap of I want to say around 4 or 5 seconds between Leo Lund and Nando. Obviously you got Locos there in P9, and of course he's 3.5 seconds off the back of Nando, and his undercut is worked to perfection as well. The undercut has worked out a treat for Nando and David here.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, sorry, they've done really well, to be honest, and they've proved me wrong at the moment, but regarding the tyre wear strategy, now, if you go for the softs,
Leaders are in.
you're going to have to pit on like on pit, well, lap 23. That was the best one. But look at that. Bogdan, Furious, and Kendon, they're all going to the pits now. So they should go for the mediums, you would think. You should all think they'd go for the mediums.
All a set of medians, but here goes Nando down the start finish, straight up into the net race lead goes Nando Moria, and Team France into the race lead here as David Locos does come out ahead of Bogdan Moldovan, who just comes out behind Leo Lunde as they went through turn number 1. Leo Lunde able to sail around the outside. Obviously his tyres are a little bit more switched on at this moment, but yeah, I mean, Bogdan Moldovan goes from the race lead all the way down to a net P4 in this race. Furious has been jumped by Hazara as well, so Furious is in a net P6, and he's got Tudi over the back of him, the fellow Romanian in the second of the Red Bulls.
Absolutely, this could be under a lot of pressure. Just watching from Hazara's point of view, still all of these drivers are pushing on. I'm just waiting for when that top 3, possibly top 4 to the pit. Just as I was saying that, Justin is just from the Dutch just going into the pits right now. So can Jerry, I reckon Jerry's going to go for lap 23, 24 for the softs. I think he would have pitted by now. Anyway, he would have pitted. But still, pressure is absolutely mad. Jordan's 10 seconds behind Jerry in first, and everyone else just all closing in now. But still, the pressure's mounting now. Furious! Fast and Furious? You bet you can. He moves up to 8. Mike.
Yep, Furious getting through on Hazara, but Hazara with an opportunity to come back at Furious now in towards turn number 4, and he's going to stick behind the Englishman. He's not going to risk it. Here's Hazara. Of course, a lot of laps remaining in this race. Lap 20 of 33. It is, of course, Jerry Van Bussel out in the lead right now, yet to make a pit stop, as he has CPI Jordan in behind him. Maz Kazink in P3, and of course Nando Moria, the first runner of those that have made a pit stop in this race, currently in P4, putting the pressure on. And honestly, for Nando, he needs to get through these two ASAP as Jerry Van Bussel's into the pits, because that gap between Nando and David gonna absolutely fly down in this final sector. It's already come down 6-7 tenths already.
Absolutely, and then we've just gone past the last corner of turn 14. Oh my god, 3 car. We could have a 2 in a bed. Come on! We could have a 3!
Oh my god!
We had a 3 in a bed moment! Brilliant! But Marge, no!
Nando gets the job done.
Mike, you're absolute legend. You picked Nando. Oh, I feel like a Nando sandwich. Unbelievable stuff now.
Oh, it's Jordan there. Sorry, missed his braking point. Goes straight into the back of Marsh, and that could be a wing damage there for the Swedish driver. He does have his teammate in behind him of Leo Lund, who's under pressure from Bogdan Moldovan. Furious now up in the P6 in this race. Of course, David Locos has fallen away from where he was originally. Azar still in P8. 2D still in P9. As in the chat we have obviously Mika Hakkinen shouts in the chat as well as Furious. Look at this around the outside. Brilliant stuff from Furious as he gets through on Jordan on those 20 lap old hard compound tyres. Not ideal for Jordan, and Furious makes quick work of him as Jordan's into the pits, as is Maj, but we will revert back to the battle for P2 in this race.
Oh my god! We got 4 in the bed! We had a 4 in the bed moment at turn 1! What?
Oh my god, as you mentioned it. Oh, Tudi's off into the gravel! Tudi runs incredibly deep through turn 2 into the gravel, goes the Romanian. And honestly, I mean, I was going to say 3 wide, it was still into the braking at turn number 1. That was going to end with someone being off track, and unfortunately it was Tudi who ended up off track. He now falls behind Jerry Van Bussel. Justin now in this train, as well as you got Topol over the back of David Locos. And what we're going to see now, obviously early on, we're going to see we're going to see the legs of David and of course the legs of Azara holding on, but the further into this race it goes, the fresher the medium tyres will start to come at these guys, and it'll come quick and fast, that is for sure. As Tope gets the move job done in turn 10. Kendon Lutt has lost touch of Furious and Bogdan Moldovan and Leo Lund here, and those three drivers are closing in on Nando. So it looks like we could be in for a decent four-way fight for the race win, as the split has occurred now inside the top 10 as Justin gets through on David Locos down in towards turn number 1. Job done there for the Dutch driver.
Mike's voice is probably knackered after all this. And fair play to him. You've got Bogdan trying to close the gap onto Leo for second place. 1.9 was the gap between Nando and Leo. Now it's 1.2. The tyre wear difference, 3 laps of tyre wear is all that matters at this stage. But it all depends on how these guys are proper professionals trying to put on a lot of pressure to get themselves with the advantage for their country, to get them points, Mike, to get those absolutely vital points moments. And we've got about 10 laps remaining. Boy, what we're going to see.
Absolutely, and I think I mean, Bogdan Moldovan might have just missed his chance to get the move down on Leo Lund. He has fallen a little bit away from the Swedish driver, and now Leo Lund in DRS range of Nando. Meanwhile, you got Tope getting through on Azara as Justin's closing in as well. Jerry Van Bussel getting through on David Locos as well for P9. So Jerry Van Bussel making moves, trying to get himself up the order as best as possible. Of course, we do have 2 Finnish drivers in the top 6. So as it currently stands, Finland having another good race weekend and looking to get some solid points in this championship. But right now, the big battle is this battle that is now brewing for the race lead. 4 drivers involved. Nando for Team France, Leo Lund for Team Sweden, and obviously Bogdan Moldova for Team Romania, and then of course Furious for Team England. Of course, England down a driver after Dylan Warren's wheel disconnected early on in this race, causing Dylan to have to retire from the race itself. But yeah, heartbreak for Team England, but Furious is in the fight for the race win. What could have been if Dylan's wheel issue did not happen? But here comes Leo Lund now, going to look to get the move done. Meanwhile, you got Bogdan Moldovan, potentially will go for a double overtake. In fact, he's going to stay boxed in. He's going to have a look to the inside. Is Bogdan? No, he's going to sit in behind. So now Leo Lund into the race lead, Bogdan Moldovan into second place, as now Nando Moria separates Furious from the back of the top 2.
This is insane stuff. And watching Leo's holding on for dear life against Bogdan. But I'm just watching it from Furious's point of view. Furious has got like boxed off his seat to try and wait for that moment to make that move. But Nando holding on for first for quite a few laps is going to cost him dearly, and coming up to turn 7 into turn 8 now. This is where the pressure mounts. The clouds have all, well, I say most of the clouds have all gone. DRS is active now. Furious, stop aside, 2 in the bed, mama deck. Oh! Brilliant move there from Furious.
Yep, Furious into turn 10, job done for him as he gets himself into the podium position. Doesn't want to lose a huge amount of time. Meanwhile, Tope and Kendon Lutt trying to work together, the 2 Finnish drivers, to get back within DRS range. Is 1.1 the gap as it just narrows down. But I mean, honestly, I think they have used and they have drained their batteries to such an extent, and they're not quite within DRS range. They need the top 4 to begin battling, and I think Nando is going to be the one that will fall a little bit behind you, and that might just allow the 2 Finnish drivers in DRS range. And now there they are. They are within the DRS train. We have a DRS train all the way down to Jerry Van Bussel in P8 as we're seeing Justin get through on Tope. Now Jerry Van Bussel having a look for a move as well down the inside in towards turn number 5. Will this work for the Dutch driver? And it's job done there for Jerry Van Bussel as he moves up into P7. Tope falling down the order in towards P8 on his 8-lap old mediums.
That was unbelievable moves from the Dutch, from Justin and Jerry. Absolutely fantastic stuff. and ay, caramba moments. It's just, you just don't know what to say. It's just brilliant racing. Absolutely brilliant racing, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're about to move on to lap 27 of 33, Leo Lund leads the way for Team Sweden. Bogdan Moldova in second place for Team Romania. Furious in third right now for Team England. Nando Moria currently in P4 for Team France. Team Finland represented with Kendon Lutte in P5. And of course we got the pairing of the Dutch drivers in the Scuderia Ferraris of Justin and Jerry Van Bussel in 6th and 7th place. Then of course we got the second of the Finnish drivers in Tope in P8. Then of course we have the Norwegian of Hazara in P9 as Jerry Van Bussel has been allowed to go ahead of Justin here. Remember, Jerry Van Bussel has the freshest of the medium compound tyre, so he has the best chance of carving his way through this field, and we could be seeing a bit of a masterclass. Of course, we did question how long he stayed out for early on, but it will come back and pay dividends if he can make his way through this field now.
Absolutely. But it all depends these next few laps. If he can master it in the next few laps, then it will be pure genius moments. And now, cut to the DRS straight of the last few corners of the third sector. This is where the pressure's mounted now. Just watching Kendon now in 5th place. Try and put the pressure on Jerry. No! To the bed moment! Brilliant move there from Jerry. Can he make it a double? No, he won't. He will not make the double move, but he made the move into 5th. And that is a great move. That is a good start. I think that switch between himself and Justin made that a perfect moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jerry Van Bussel, an absolutely incredible driver. We saw his efforts in Season 1 as he's having a look now down the inside in towards turn number 5 on Nando Moria. Remember, his tyres are much fresher than Nando's, so he's going to get the traction on the exit. Jerry Van Bussel is moving up the order. He's up in the P4 right now. Will Jerry Van Bussel potentially take a race win here? Lap 28 of 33. The Dutch driver, Jerry Van Bussel, the Dutch maestro, making his way up the order, and he has the freshest tyres of anyone in the top 5 right now.
Definitely right, Mike. Definitely right there. And here we go. He's got a few drivers. Now can he try and do it on Furious and then Bogdan? That's the crucial point. He needs to be in a good position in lap 30-31 to attack the leaderboard. Here we go. Jerry's trying to close the gap, but he's a little bit too far away from Furious. Bogdan. Oh, it was a 10th behind Leo. Leo is pouring with sweat, Mike. He's pouring with sweat.
Yeah, Bogdan, no backing off, not looking to make the move. But every time he does that, he allows Furious and Jerry Van Bussel to bunch up to him. And that will put him under pressure, especially the later into this race we go. We're on lap 29 of 33, so not many laps remaining in this race. But we're seeing Jerry Van Bussel starting to put the pressure on as he has been going for overtakes. Remember, it was only a moment ago he was down in P8 a few laps ago. He is now up in the P4. He's on 8-lap old mediums as everyone else around him is on a minimum 2-lap older tyres. And of course, Leo Lund on the oldest tyres of the drivers in this race win battle in the top 4. Of course, we still got Nando Moria there hanging around in P5. He's under a bit of pressure from Kendon Lutte, but all eyes are on Jerry Van Bussel, Bogdan Moldovan, Furious and Leo Lund.
So here we go, down the DRS straight, Bogdan, 4 tenths, now down to 3. Will it be 2? It's closing on Leo. He can't make that move. He cannot make that move into turn 1. And he's struggling at turn 2 into turn 3. And he's catching up on that long right-hander. Furious is trying to hold on to get that pressure moment. But look at this now. There's quite a few cars behind now, Mike. You just don't know where to start. Mud scenes.
I mean, Bogdan Moldovan is trying to play this as smartly as possible, trying to not go for the overtake too soon, to leave himself vulnerable at the end of the race. I mean, what we are going to see, though, is every lap that Bogdan Moldovan does not want to go for the move, Furious is going to be looking to potentially try and get a move done so that he's that guy in the plum spot. And then, of course, you got Jerry Van Bussel, who is going to be looking to capitalise on anything the top three give him. And everyone now going to be saving the battery up, ready for the final couple of laps. Lap 30 or 33, a little bit of small mistake there from Jerry Van Bussel. Might just lose him a bit of time. So we're going to go on board with Furious right now, who is getting close to the back of Bogdan Moldovan. And he is on so much ERS, and he is using a bit now. He is closing in on Bogdan Moldovan. Is he going to potentially look for the move? Bogdan Moldovan being forced into trying to overtake Leo Lund here. Down in the inside is Leo Lund, around the outside goes Bogdan Moldovan. But again, they stay as they are. And Furious now starting to force Bogdan Moldovan to try and make an overtake happen here.
Absolutely, but Bogdan really wants to try and make this move done as soon as possible, because Furious is not messing about. He really is not messing about. Like, from any of the top 8, any of that top 8 could win this race. And this is where you're at the edge of your seat moment. You can't make a mistake now. You make a mistake, that is it, game over. You can't do this now. You've got to make the move, and you've got to do it strategically. Furious, with that DRS, can he try and make that move? He can't yet. You're on the edge of your seat, and you just want to shout at them saying, make that move done now. But remember, it's the next few laps where the DRS is going to be useful at this stage, Mike.
Well, if I'm Furious right now, I'm trying to push this overtake on the start finish straight down in towards turn number 1 right here, right now. As we are on the penultimate lap of the race. Leo Lund still leads the way. Bogdan Moldovan again refusing to go for the overtake, and he's sitting on 100% ERS, by the way. Bogdan Moldovan on full battery power, as you got Furious right now on around about 70%. Jerry Van Bussel currently on around about 30%. Leo Lund on about 50%. So Bogdan Moldovan definitely has the ERS advantage. Furious has an opportunity, as we got a spinner around at the back, and that is Nazir, who is going to fall down to 16th place. Of course, remember, top 15 get points here in the European Esports Championship. 22 points for the race win, 18 points for second place, and 15 points for P3. And of course, I believe it's 12 points for P4. And then it goes down in increments of 1 all the way down to P15. There is a point for fastest lap as well, and that is of course currently held by that has been held by Maj Krasinik in P13. So of course he has the fastest lap of the race, and we're going to see if Bogdan Moldovan is going to be able to make this move now. And we begin the final lap of this race. The ERS is being burnt by Bogdan Moldovan, and look at the overspeed, the absolute overspeed from the Romanian. Gets into the race lead, and Bogdan Moldovan has timed that to perfection, but as previously mentioned, his run through turns 2 not as smooth as Leo Lund's are, and Leo potentially might have an opportunity to come back if he can stay close enough. I mean the ERS battery though is looking very depleted on the Swedish man's car, and he might be vulnerable to Furious coming down the DRS straight in towards turn 10 here.
Absolutely, they're up to turn 7 now, and this is where the pressure is absolutely mounting. Furious is right at the back of Leo, and this is where they come up to turn 9, DRS should be active. Furious haven't got much of the ERS, but here we go, going down the straight. Oh, Furious has not done enough. Bogdan holding on. Bogdan is just trying to hold on for dear life. But to be fair to Furious, he's got a little bit better of the ERS compared to the top 3. But here we go. They come up to the final few corners now. And I tell you what, fair play if he holds on. Fair play to Bogdan, who has just won the Spanish Grand Prix, Mike.
Yeah, Bogdan Moldovan takes victory here for Team Romania. Leo Lund in second place for Team Sweden. Team England's Furious comes home in P3. What could have been for Team England if Dylan Warren's wheel did not disconnect early on in the race. Jerry Van Bussel, an incredible drive to get himself up into P4. Nando Moria able to hold on for P5. Kendon Lutt in P6. Justin in P7. Tope in P8. Hazara in P9. David Locos in P10. And of course we got 2D in 11th place. Boris in 12th. Maj with the fastest lap, I believe, in P13. P14 for CPI Jordan. And then of course the final points playing position should be going the way of Tylen Smid there for Team Slovenia, as he crosses the line in dramatic fashion. And of course Nazir, I mean, fair play, Nazir did keep going, and he has no front wing, but I mean, he's kept going. He isn't going to get any points in this, but I mean, sportsman award. I mean, just keep him going. Like, I mean, I do like it when the drivers don't give up in the races, and Nazir definitely did not give up, even though he was down at the back by some distance. But yeah, that does wrap things up here in Spain, and of course, Bogdan Moldovan for Team Romania with the victory. Driver of the day for the in-game fans goes to Jerry Van Bussel. But I am going to ask you, Malk, who is your driver of the day?
Oh, that is a tough one. Everyone, if the top eight was just insane. To be fair, absolutely insane. I think Bogdan just done it at the last bit to hold on in first. But you got to think of the biggest movers. Jerry's impressed me from 10th to 4th as well. So I'm going to go with Jerry, to be fair.
Yeah, I cannot argue with Jerry Van Bussel being a shout there for driver of the day. Of course, I will probably I will be boring. I will give it to Bogdan Moldovan. I mean, his strategy was on point, and he was able to make that move stick when it mattered the most at the end of the race. But let's go ahead and let us run you through the order one more time. It is, of course, Bogdan Moldovan who takes a victory here in Spain ahead of Leo Lund in second place with Furious in P3 completing the podium. Jay Van Bussel from P10 up to P4 for him and Team Netherlands getting some good points here. Jerry Van Bussel in P4. Nando Moria in P5 with Kendall Lutt in P6. Justin from P12 up to P7 for Team Netherlands in 7th place. Justin there. Tope in 8th. Hazara in 9th. And of course, David Lokos in P10. 2D in 11th with Boris in 12th. Maz Krasinnik in 13th place. And of course, we had CPI Jordan and I believe. I did not get to read the final name in the points there, but of course, I mean, I think we know who got it in the end. But yeah, an incredible race here around Spain, and it was absolutely nail biting all the way to the checkered flag, Malk.
Absolutely, and I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. And the closeness of the qualifying brought it into the race was absolutely insane. As you said, I feel sorry for Dylan Warren because he should have been. It would have been a different race. It would have been a totally different race had he kept his wheel intact. That's the big question. But fair play to Furious for the top three, and Bogdan also in to win at the Spanish Grand Prix at the last lap of asking. Fair play.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, there were people asking in the chat. And of course, P15 went to Thailand Smid. And then, of course, Nazia did not get any points in the end. Everyone was asking for the points and system. And here is the point system 22 points for the race win, 18 points for second place, 15 points for P3, 12 points for P4. And then it goes down in increments of 1 all the way down to P15, which gets you that final solitary point. So the only driver who didn't manage to get a point in the end was, of course, Nazir in 16th place. Of course, Dylan Warren DNF'd after his wheel disconnected. But he did pick up a point for Team England with the pole position point, and of course, the fastest lap point did go the way of Maj Krasinnik in the end. So he picks up a grand total of 4 points for Team Poland. But looking at the calendar as well, next week we head to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Now, if you thought overtaking around Spain was difficult, Hungary is a whole nother prospect, Mark, and another circuit where times are incredibly close in qualifying, and the racing is going to be incredibly close when it gets to the action out on track.
Absolutely, and the Hungaroring is just one of those iconic tracks where it's more driver-esque to be at that very, very best. And to be at that very, very best, you have to make those moves in the unlikeliest places that you ever see. But it feels like you're on a roller coaster ride at the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, it is a circuit as well where, mean, I'm not gonna lie, conditions can be very treacherous at times, and of course, we will see if the Hungarian is gonna throw us a little bit of cheeky little bit of weather conditions. Of course, it has been known to rain there in the past, and of course we will see if it is going to rain again there in the future. Of course, in a fortnight's time on the 23rd of April, of course we head to the Temple of Speed for round number 4 at Monza. And then of course round number 5 we head to the Circuit Spa of Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Round number 6 is obviously the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix, and then we close out the season on the 14th of May at Imola. And that is going to be another incredible circuit to go racing at as well. But of course, for tonight's action here in Spain is all over and done with. It is Bogdan Moldovan who takes a victory and does it on the final lap. Leo London second place. Furious in P3 completing the podium. And with that, it brings an end to the stream. Of course, tomorrow, guys, there will be Esports Masters League action on the PlayStation TS here on League Racing TV. Of course, myself and James Head taking you through the action for F1, and of course F2. We will be having, I believe, Webbo taking you through the action in F2, and yeah, I mean a lot of action to come tomorrow as well. And 7 p.m. F2, 8 p.m. F1. Make sure you guys are there. But do you have any closing words before we wrap up the stream here, Malk?
I just want to say, great driving from everyone. Fair play to Bogdan. He was just absolutely outstanding tonight, and he took that really well. To be fair play to Nando, who proved us all wrong with the wrong strategy, but used it really well. And Furious holding on in the top 3. So well done to the top 3, and well done to everyone that kept there. Hopefully, the Hungarian will be the classic of it all after the Spanish Grand Prix this evening. And thank you as well, Mike, for an unbelievable comms.
Absolutely, and that's what we like to do. We like to bring the action to all you guys out there watching around the world. But of course, that is going to be it for tonight. I have been Michael Edwards. He has been Malcolm. We'll catch you next week for round number 3 at the Hungarian, and I'll catch you back here again tomorrow for F1 action in the Esports Masters League here on League Racing TV. Until then, guys, is goodbye from the pair of us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.